Alright guys, time for another fragrance review to keep my channel active. I really do like doing the art reviews, but they just don't get views, dude. So I guess I gotta show my face again. It's that little bit of that 2% female viewer audience in my gay audience is the only ones that really watch the fragrance reviews. So maybe I'll have to think of like a new gimmick, kind of like play with my hair more or some bullshit like that, dude. Little like try to like sultry thing, whatever, dude. I don't know, man. Like I said, I really do like, I kind of think the art reviews are more fun, but let me know what color looks better too. 2% audience ship. Anyway, today what I'm going to do for fragrances, I'm going to do a comparison of Tom Ford's Amber Absolute and Dolce & Gabbana's Velvet Amber Sun, right? Two fragrances that get compared to each other sometimes, and they're both very resinous ambers, right? Again, let me play with my hair for the 2% real quick. I'm sure I'm going to get hair in my mouth, whatever, dude. Enough of that. Anyway, so what do I think of when I think of Tom Ford's Amber Absolute, dude? I think of you're looking for the best amber cake frosting that you've ever smelled. Vanilla ambery, whatever it might be. Vanilla amber cake frosting, right? But to get this, there's a little bit of like trepidation, right? Because the only way you can find this is you have to go to this cake chef shop, whatever it is. And this dude who makes the best holy grail amber cake frosting, he lives in this kind of like sauna, or he makes the cake, well, it looks like I'm jacking off, sorry. Don't flag my video. Don't flag the video, dude. He makes this amber cake frosting in like a sauna or like a sort of not barnyard, but a little bit, you know, there's some heat to this fragrance, right? Some blood, sweat, and tears was made when they made this fragrance, dude, or this amber cake frosting, right? So you go in, he pulls out his little sauna when he was making amber cake frosting, he gives it to you, and then you walk away and you got this amazing amber cake frosting with some woodiness in the background, whatever. And as you're leaving the forest, you can smell a little bit of like the smoke at the end, right? So if I was to say that I have some qualms with this fragrance, right? Anything that I don't like per se, I would say that, and I don't want to sound like I know a lot when I talk about notes or anything like that, so no note monster, kill me, dude, but, you know, there's like kind of like a difference between like a smoky note and like this frankincense, right? And this fragrance does have a lot of that kind of like opaque, crystallized frankincense, whatever kind of smell, that personally I'm not a super big fan of. I like just the smoky kind of mixture of notes that you have in fragrances, but when I can pick out a lot of frankincense kind of smell, I'm not a super big fan of that aspect. And because this is a fragrance that has quite a bit of heat and kick to it, a little bit of a, you know, spice, a little bit of kick, the cakes, the chef, you know, there's some sweat made into this fragrance, right? It's a slightly bit off-putting when you think of compared to, say, Tuscan Leather also uses frankincense, but it just doesn't seem to bother me as much as the mix. So in this fragrance per se, I should say, this is only when you smell the fragrance, maybe for the first couple hours or so up close, you can get more of that kind of frankincense, you know, heat. The heat, there was like a lot of heat when they made this fragrance, right? But eventually that dies down and I get more of the kind of just black incensey smoke. And that is something I do wish that, I wish it was slightly more leaning novelty-ish in that sense, right? Because I enjoy that sort of novelty kind of smell of fall and autumn. And this, a lot of times my nose will just pick out the frankincense. Although for what it's worth, recently I wore this and, you know, every day is different. Sometimes just the smell in the air can make you smell something different. I didn't pick up a lot of that frankincense, and I really just got a nice amber cake frosting with a little bit of smoke in the background that you smell from that cake shop where they made it. Just great, awesome amber cake frosting with some woods in the background and some smoke, right? So to compare this to Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun, what does it smell like, right? And they do, because they do smell kind of similar, dude, right? This, I would imagine, you're going to a wooden ice cream shop, right? And think of two things when you think of this fragrance, right? Either or works for you. Either you're getting some ice cream and they're either going to give it to you in a amber. Have you ever seen, a lot of times it's with the color, excuse me, I just ate dinner, sorry. It's kind of like a red plasticky cup or something like that, but it's like see-through. They used to use it, I haven't ate there in so long, but like I remember I have this image of, excuse me, when I was a kid, and like Pizza Hut used to have those plastic red cups that were kind of like crystallized, but you could see through it. That's what I imagine this, but they give you an amber kind of glass bowl that you can see through. They put your ice cream in it, and then they give you a wooden spoon that is burning hot. That, or they give you a wooden little ice cream bowl. They put the ice cream in, and then they give you a plastic, see-through whatever amber spoon that is burning hot. And whatever the case is, whatever it is, you take that spoon and you put it into the ice cream. And so say if it was a amber spoon, it starts to melt inside of the ice cream while you're eating it. And the amber spoon, while it's like melting into the ice cream, it's almost turning the ice cream a red and an orange color. And it's almost becoming like sprinkles, almost. Little sprinkles are breaking off from the spoon into the ice cream bowl, right? Or again, if you're going to use the other analogy I used, you have the amber bowl with ice cream in, and you put this hot wooden incense stick in it. It's like smoking out and it's burning, and it's melting the ice cream every time you take a bite, and it's slowly melting the amber crystal ball with the ice cream. And that's the kind of mix you get, right? Both are very sweet, and if I had to pick a qualm with Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun, I think the slightly potentially off-putting thing for me when I smelled this is, when I first smelled this, I definitely had to get myself in the mind of smelling that incense, because when you really pick up on the incense, it really works together. But there is at the beginning a slight bit of that old, for lack of a better word, plasticky rubber amber kind of smell that I'm not a big fan of. It goes away quickly, but if I'm just comparing, both, what are aspects that I don't like of both fragrances? Tom Ford's Amber Absolute, sometimes I can smell a little bit too much of the frankincense when I would rather just have more just incense per se. And this fragrance, sometimes the amber at the beginning, a little bit too much of that rubbery plastic amber at the beginning, but both dry down into this just great vanilla amber kind of smell. This one, the Velvet Amber Sun, has a little bit more of like a fruitiness, a little bit more of a, I guess because it has like ylang-ylang, whatever it is, and some citrus notes in it, so it stands to reason it's a bit more sort of like fruity and, colorful smelling, if you will. But they both dry down into a very sort of thick, delicious vanilla and amber, right? So that's what I think of these two fragrances. If I was to compare, what do I think is better? Well, performance-wise, both smell good, or both perform well. But Tom Ford Amber Absolute is, of course, it wins. They both perform well, but Tom Ford Amber Absolute performs better. Sometimes when I wear Amber Absolute just to, wear it for myself, I guess, if you will. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can smell it on a pillow days later, and it smells so good because the dry down is just so fantastic, right? So, again, both last long, but Tom Ford's Amber Absolute smells a little bit better. What smells better overall? I think Dolce & Gabbana won. The Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun smells a little bit better overall because it's a little bit easier to deal with that kind of plasticky, fruity, almost amber kind of smell at the beginning. Then sometimes more of the heat that was made to use Tom Ford's Amber Absolute sometimes can make it at the very beginning have a little bit too much of a kick if you were to smell it up close. But the whisper of the fragrance is always good. But anyway, both are super good, dude. I'm both fans of it. That's my opinion. Keeping my channel active fragrance-wise. Dude, I wanted to do an art review of this to show it, but they don't get reviews, dude. Watch the art reviews, dude. I just gotta appeal to my gay audience-ship and the small female audience-ship I have. Anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comments, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. Thanks.